Okay, one that has had multiple updates recently. A big update in the Gyanvapi dispute with the Hindu side filing applications seeking the de-sealing of the Wazukhana area of the Gyanvapi Mosque. The Hindu side says that the survey would be carried out without harming the shivling. That's at least what they're arguing in court, or they're hoping to argue in court. Our legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar with much more in terms of context. Ananya, over to you.
Well, definitely. After, in fact, the Archaeological Survey of India report was out in the Gyanvapi case, clearly hinting that there existed a Hindu temple, and in fact, various shivlings and various other Hindu artifacts were recovered during that particular survey, except for the Wazukhana area. Now, the Hindu side has not knocked the doors at the topmost of the country, seeking, in fact, to go ahead with the survey of the Wazukhana as well. And remember that the Wazukhana area of the Gyanvapi Mosque has been sealed by the topmost of the country by way of its order, and to vacate that particular order, the Hindu side has now knocked the doors of the Supreme Court, saying that this is a survey that needs to be carried out. The Wazukhana also needs to be checked, and there would be no kind of harm that would be caused to, in fact, the particular structure that exists there, which the disputed structure, which in fact that artifact that was found in that Advocate Commissioner survey, and later ASI survey was demanded. However, the Wazukhana was sealed by the Supreme Court, and that particular structure, which Hindu side believes to be a shivling, while the Muslim side says that it's a fountain. So definitely important update coming in as far as the Gyanvapi case is concerned. We'll have to wait and watch as to how the Supreme Court reacts to it, and how will the Supreme Court be dealing with all of this issue.
Tell us about the original order that ordered the sealing on May 16, 2022. What did that order state in terms of it ever being unsealed?
Well, the May 2022 order had sealed that particular structure, that particular Wazukhana area, until and unless, a further hearing in this particular case would actually continue before the Varanasi District Court. In fact, the Supreme Court was seized of various petitions with regards to, the challenge to that particular survey that was carried out. And in fact, that Advocate Commissioner survey that was first carried out in the Gyanvapi case, the findings of that survey were also challenged before the topmost of the country, and that's why the Supreme Court had actually sealed that particular Wazukhana area. However, later on, a ASI survey was ordered for the other areas in the Gyanvapi, complex, and we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out, and whether or not this survey would be allowed by the Supreme Court. Because remember that the ASI survey reports have given a strong case to the Hindu side, where various artifacts have now come forward. But another bridge that comes to fore to the Hindu side, and in this particular case is the 1991 Place of Worship Act. How would the Hindu side be dealing with it? How will the Muslim side deal with the
Ananya, can I just ask you to stay with us? Vinod Bansal from the VHP, who's with us right now on the phone, and I'd like to go over to him to understand more. Sir, it was a highly sensitive situation when the court ordered that this entire area be sealed off. This was obviously after the discovery of a structure that the Hindu side said was a shivling, the Muslim side said was a fountain. This is very, very sensitive in nature, sir. What do you think of the Hindu petitioners asking that it now be unsealed?
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you properly. Can you please repeat the question again?
Yes, sir. First, sir, just give me your initial reaction to this ask by the Hindu side that it be unsealed, sir.
Actually, this is very necessary to dig up the truth, which has already been out by the initial survey of the compound. But unless it will be the depth of in the entire area, which is the exception for this Wazukhana. This Wazukhana must also be open, and it should be surveyed properly. Then only the complete truth will come out. That's why it is necessary to the survey of the area should be allowed, and then only the court will be able to decide on the issue actually. What actually is.
So the highly sensitive nature of the entire Wazukhana that led to it being sealed in the first place, sir, and any worries that there may be public disorder, sir. What do you think of those, sir?
No. These are all things are very old one actually. Now the society of the country is very mature, and we have seen this maturity when the Article 370 was abrogated. We have seen this maturity of the country when the Ram Temple was consecrated actually. The thing is that the country has altogether changed, and why the matter will be so sensitive actually. You see, the truth will come out, and the court has to decide. No one else is capable of doing anything about it. You see, the initial finding of the survey report clearly says that it is a temple.
Okay.
And the Muslim society should also think over it. Instead of deciding by the court, they should decide themselves amicably
Okay.
and vacate the place for the Hindus' duty
Mr. Bansal,
worship.
thank you for joining us this afternoon. Thank you for putting forth your opinion. Let's go back to our legal correspondent, Ananya Bhatnagar, to understand more. Ananya, in many ways, this next step was predictable when the ASI came out and we knew that their survey had said that there existed a large Hindu temple there prior to construction. In some ways, this next step was predictable. Therefore, Ananya, I want to ask you, have you heard at all from the Muslim litigants' side? What has their argument been in the last few days? Were they able to predict that this might be the next move?
Well, they would be knocking the doors of the Varanasi District Court. They'll be filing their objections to that particular report that was filed by the Archaeological Survey of India. However, when it comes to, before the Supreme Court, when the Hindu side would actually file, has already filed this particular the application, they would also be, coming in by way of a caveat and would be listening, because since the case is already ongoing, in fact, the caveat would also not be necessary. Both these sides would be present whenever this case is listed for hearing, and then both these sides can actually put their contentions. Remember, the Muslim side has constantly been, saying that, it's more than the ASI survey. The suit has to be decided first, that it has to go through the CPC, and in fact, they had also asked for the for the sealing of that particular report. However, the Varanasi District Court did not give any kind of order sealing that particular report, and the report came out in open very, very categorically, showing the findings that, there exists a Hindu structure which was actually destroyed, and
Right.
later a mosque was actually built over it.
Okay.